Hey everyone, welcome to CIS 275 Web Design and Development. Wanted to do a little introduction video and explain what you've gotten yourselves into by signing up for this class. I've enjoyed reading your little intros in Teams, so I'm going to do my own. My name is Emily Kaufman. I'll be the instructor for the semester. A little bit about me. I work full-time as a front-end software engineer at a company called Harvey. So Harvey's a platform that matches consumers with farmers and local foods, kind of like Amazon Prime, but it is specifically for farmers close to where the consumers will be buying. So if you have a Harvey account like in Pittsburgh, all of your groceries and stuff will come from farmers around Pittsburgh. So I work remotely with a team of developers, and my plan is to lead this class remotely, kind of similar to how our company operates, with the hopes that after completing it, you'll be able to jump into your careers with remote work experience on your resumes. So I think it'll be a good experience, even though it's not typically how W&J leads their classes. So a few fun facts. I'm a W&J alum. I took this particular class with Dr. Fee a few years ago, and I enjoyed it so much that I actually ended up switching from a Spanish and art major to CIS my junior year, which was a good decision for me. So I hope that you guys enjoyed as much as I did. So I've lived in 6 different places in the last 9 months or so since COVID hit. I'm married to a travel nurse, so we've just been jumping around to different virus hotspots. We're in the Bronx, and I'm currently living in Guam, which is a little island in Micronesia, which is between Japan and Australia. So I think I'm 15 hours ahead of you guys, so it'll be a really good reason to have a remote class. But I'll be mostly operating on Eastern Standard Time, so shouldn't be an issue. But that's one of the benefits of working remotely, especially if you're a web developer and you can do that remotely. You can kind of work from wherever you want to. For fun, I enjoy photography, riding my bike, and more recently, since I've been in Guam, I've learned to scuba dive, so I've been doing that a couple times a week. So courses without a set class schedule, like we're doing, can sometimes be pretty boring because they lack the human element of having class time and discussion and seeing your friends and everything. So I'm really hoping that we can use Teams to supplement this a little bit. So I want to encourage you to have conversations with classmates and post websites you like and any kind of articles that you see. And at certain times throughout the semester, I'm probably going to schedule one-on-ones or group activities or calls just so I can see where everyone's at, answer any questions, and just make sure everyone's staying on track with the work. So what is CIS 275? Over the semester, we're going to do a deep dive into the web, how it works, how it impacts our culture, and we'll develop technical skills for generating effective web content. So we're going to make websites. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to sharing my screen. Since this is a web class, I made a website to hold all of our content. One second. Alright, so to get to the class site, you're going to want to go to cis275.emilykaufman.com. So I just have it hosted on my own website. I'll post this link in the Teams channel as well, so you guys can all check it out. But basically you have, the header. If you want to switch it to dark mode or whatever, you can do that. Most of the links will be on this left side here. So today in this video, I'm going to go over the course introduction and the syllabus. So, I explained a lot of this already, but basically we're going to learn about the web and how to make websites. Some more information about me, kind of went over that already. So like I said, because this is a course to learn about the web, everything is going to be web-based. So each week I'll have basically 2 classes worth of content that I post, and it'll be on you on your own time to make it through all of that and have everything submitted by the end of the week. So some stuff that you might see week by week are videos explaining the content, kind of the lecture style, a number of links to maybe some external readings. You'll have homework, code snippets. So let's look at that real quick. Like say for week 1, you'd want to click on week 1. This will be some type of video here, some learning goals. So basically what are you going to get out of this week? And then if you just hit next or click over here, you can actually get started in on the content. So kind of the optimal way of making it through each of these, I guess you call modules, is first I would either watch the video or read the blurb underneath, but you're going to want to do both, and it's a good way to have that repetitive learning. And I might talk about some stuff in the video that I don't completely cover below. So definitely recommend reading week 1, overview of what you're going to be learning, go into the module, watch the video, and then read the content and follow along with whatever the information is down there. So this is the example of a code snippet. So you'll see these usually denoted by some black background, and you can tell this is some kind of code. So you'll see those a lot in the content as well. So jump back here. Class discussions will all be in Teams. If you haven't been able to get in Teams yet, just let me know. I'll be looking out for everyone's introduction. So if I don't get one from someone pretty early into the week, I'll probably reach out. So this is the link to our Teams site if you need it. I showed you some code snippets already. Syllabus is there. So you don't really need a lot to make a website. You need a text editor, a web browser, and a computer. Internet connection is pretty much required for this class as well, just because you have to be able to get to this site to see all of it. But to actually work on your website locally, which just means working on it on your own computer, you don't need to have internet enabled, which is nice. So code editor is just a program that you use to write code for your website. A few popular ones are Sublime, Atom, and VS Code. VS Code is what I use normally. Atom is what's on all the school computers, and Sublime is just a really nice, free, simple one. This one is actually probably your best bet for the class, just because it's super easy to use. There's a very low learning curve, and you can just go to a web browser, search Sublime Text 3, I think they're on, and you can just download it and immediately start using it. You can use Mac, PC, works on both. So I'm obviously on a Mac. And then when you're actually working on your websites, you're going to want to test it. So you want to test it on the main browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari. Make sure you look at it on your phone. Make sure it looks good on everything. I usually use Chrome as my main browser for testing because I like some of the tooling that they have, but you can use whichever one you're comfortable with. So basically, text editor, web browser, and a computer are the requirements for the class. There are an infinite number of resources about how to do web development on the web, and most of them are not great because anyone can put anything on the web, so it's not always trustworthy. Some of it's out of date or just completely wrong. So these sites down here are ones that are trustworthy, they have good information on it, and are really helpful. Code Academy is a site that you can sign up. It's free, and you can take a web class where it pretty much walks you through how to make certain elements in HTML and CSS. So if you find yourself struggling with the content on here, definitely recommend Code Academy for some extra practice. That's it for that page. So I'm just going to hit next. This will take me to the syllabus. Start down here. No course prereqs. Books. So this one you're going to be using almost immediately. So I said this in my email, but if you haven't ordered it yet, I definitely recommend getting on that. This one we're going to use in the second half of the semester, so if you want to hold off on that one, you can, or, get them both if you want. Grading and assignments, you'll have an HTML exam, then you'll have a CSS exam, and homework and weekly participation is going to be 10%. Basically, what I'm looking for the homework is not complete correctness. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want you to show that you made an effort and you finished it. And what this is going to be, it'll be really helpful for me, because when I'm looking through your homeworks, if everyone kind of is struggling with the same stuff, I'll be able to change the upcoming week's content to include maybe a better description or more explanation on that. So the best way to learn web development is just to make websites and just do it a lot. So that's kind of where this is coming from. And weekly participation is, are you participating in chats? Are you involved in the class? Kind of a catch-all for that. You'll have a layout project towards closer to the end of the semester, and then your final project is to build a personal website, and you can make this for whatever you want, like a personal portfolio or something that you can use to show off your skills to potential employers. So this is supposed to be like your real life example that you make that you can use after you leave this class. Yeah, so like I said, the best way to learn this is just to do it a lot. So we're going to be doing lots of exercises and mini sites and that kind of thing. We do have PAL tutors for the class. I've included a link here, so you can just go there and their channels, and I think you just message whoever the tutor is for the night. They usually post, hey, my name's whatever, and I can help you with 275, but let me know if you have any issues getting on there. And here's our link again if you needed it. So like I said, this class is asynchronous, which means there's no set class time. You don't have to log on at a certain time to work on anything or listen to the lecture. So how we were going to do it is the content week is going to start on a Tuesday. So it might be helpful to think about this as a Tuesday, Thursday class. And so I'll post stuff on Tuesday, and that gives me Monday to review homeworks and make any changes that I need to before Tuesday starts. So I'm expecting that when you start the class, you'll read your weekly overview, like I showed you earlier, clicking on week 1, and you'll be able to see any announcements or read the overview, and this might change as we go forward. So if, like I said, everyone's kind of stuck on one thing, we'll just spend extra time on it. It's no big deal. Yeah, and even if I post the semester's content earlier, it's subject to change up until Tuesday. So I'm on my site now. This is kind of the version that I have on my computer, so I have all 13 weeks showing up here. So let's jump in back to the syllabus. Okay, so I'll post 2 classes worth of information each week on the Tuesday, like I said, so you'll be expected to complete any requirements of the week by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, Eastern Standard Time. So I'll review it, make any changes, and then you guys will be able to start on Tuesday. So this is a kind of an overview of the content that we'll be going through during the semester, as well as a suggested schedule. If this were a Tuesday, Thursday class, this would be the schedule. So it's not going to be something that you can do all of it on a Sunday and do it well. So I definitely recommend maybe even having a set 2 times a week that you just sit down and you knock out the 2 classes worth. So we're going to start with an intro, talk about what the web is, how it works. You'll start learning some HTML. HTML is the first language that we're going to learn in the class. This is all HTML. Mid-February, we're going to have a lab activities week, and this is basically you're just going to be doing exercises. Maybe I'll have you do a small website. I'll answer any questions and do a review, and then we'll have our first exam. Next, we'll start in on design. How do we make things pretty and functional? Learn some more CSS. Then we'll have another one of those lab classes, and then we'll take the CSS exam. Kind of a similar situation. Lab activities on layouts. We'll have a project day, and then by the end you'll be doing usability studies and your final project. So again, this is going to be subject to change depending on how the class goes, but for the most part, we'll try to follow that. There aren't really excused absences because there's no in-person classes. You just have to participate weekly through any discussion or exercises. Don't submit things late. And don't copy and paste code from the internet. So I recommend looking at resources, using them as inspiration. You can use, libraries, which is like code that someone else wrote as appropriate, but don't just go and copy and paste stuff into your project if you don't understand it. So the rule is you should be able to explain every part of an assignment or project when asked. So if you're copying pages out of somebody else's work and I ask you, what does this mean? And you aren't able to explain it, then I'm assuming you're going to be copying and pasting. And then just in general, be respectful. And yeah, if you need accommodation for any reason, please let me know early on, and I'll work with the college to get something figured out. So that is pretty much what you're going to need to know to get started. So week 1 is going to be overview of the web and just kind of getting you started, the development process, and then I have an exercises page at the end of week 1. This is like a little knowledge check, like a little quiz where you can answer. This isn't graded or anything. This is just for you to see, did I understand the content? And if you don't, if you get them wrong, go back, review that section, and then continue on to the exercises. So these exercises will be what you submit at the end of the week. So let me know if any of this is confusing or you have questions, and I'll answer them in Teams or send an email or individual, whatever works there.